Hello guys, and welcome back to our YouTube channel. In the last video, we studied the different types of matrix, and now we are going to learn how to actually perform operations with these matrices. Some of these operations are addition, subtraction, scalar multiplication, matrix multiplication, equality of matrices. But here in this video, we are going to be doing the addition and subtraction of these matrices. Okay, let us remember that the order of a matrix is very important because it's going to tell us which operations are possible, because not every operation is possible. So we are going to see that. So remember, the order of the matrix is m by n, which m is the number of rows and n is the number of columns. So this is just a reminder. Okay, so to add and subtract matrices, this is a rule. We should remember this. It's very important. To add and subtract matrices, two matrices can only be added and subtracted if they have the same order. That is where the order comes in. So two matrices can only be added and subtracted okay. So two matrices can only be added and subtracted if they have the same order. Okay, they must have the same order because in matrix addition and subtraction, corresponding elements are added and subtracted. So if an element does not have a corresponding element, it will not add to anything. That is why the matrices must be of the same order. So let us have an example. Okay, so let's start with the first one, addition. Okay, let's have a matrix A, 1, 2, 3, 4, B, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, remember I told you in matrix addition, corresponding elements are added to each other. So the matrices must be of the same order. So the first thing you should do, you need to determine the order of the matrices you have been given. If they are not of the same order, then they cannot be added or subtracted. So let us determine the order of these matrices. Let's take the matrix A. So what is the order of the matrix A? Order is number of rows times number of columns. Remember that. So how many rows do we have here? We have 2 rows and 2 columns. Okay, now our B, how many rows and how many columns? This is 5. So it is still 2 by 2. So yes, we can add these two matrices. Okay, so if we want to add the matrices A plus B, remember I told you only corresponding elements are added. So we are going to look at the matrices. We are going to look at them and we are going to add their corresponding elements. So their corresponding elements here, the first element, 1, it is the first element in this matrix A. 5 is the first element in this matrix B. So they are corresponding elements. They have the same positions. So we can add them. So the first position will be 1 plus 5. That is just the first position. Let's take this 2. 2, which element is its corresponding element in the matrix B? 2. 2 and 6, they have the same position. So we can add them. That's 2 plus 6. Let's go to the next number, 3. which number is its corresponding number in the matrix B? 7. They have the same position, so we can add them. That is 3 plus 7. 4. It is the last element. Let us go. Which element is the last element in the matrix B? 8. 8 is the last element, so we can add them. So that is 4 plus 8. So that is simply what matrix addition is. Okay, so let us add them. So this will give you 6. This will give you 8. This will give you 10. And this will give you 12. So that is simply A plus B. We add corresponding elements. Okay, so let me give a simple step, the step which I used to come out with this addition. So steps. So first we take the top left element. The top left element. So this, let me just write the matrices down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We take the top left elements in each matrix. So the top left element is 1 here. The top left element is 5. So we add them 1 plus 5. Now we take the top right. Top right, 2 and 6. So we can add them because they are corresponding elements. We take the bottom left. Three and 7, we can add them. And we take the bottom right. That is 4 and 8. So they can be added. And that is how we came out with these values. This is 6. This is 8. This is 10. And this is 12. So those are the simple steps. But remember, we will not always have a square matrix. That is a 2 by 2 matrix. We will not always have that. We can have different orders of matrices to add, but it is just the same steps. Okay. Now, if we have these two matrices, if we have a 2 by 3 matrix and a 3 by 2 matrix, we will think that we can add them. Yes, they look alike, but they are not the same. Remember, the order must be the same. These matrices, they don't have the same order. This is a 2 by 3 matrix. This is a 3 by 2 matrix. Remember, the number of rows of each matrix should be equal to the number of columns of each matrix before you can perform addition. So here, the number of rows is 2, but here the number of rows is 3. That is already telling you that you cannot add them. The columns, here is 3 and here is 2. So you cannot add them. So do not be confused because they look alike and you may think that you can add them. Remember not to mix the elements from different positions. Remember, we take the elements from the same positions before we can add them. We do not mix them. Let's take an example. Let's say we have a matrix 1, 0, minus 1, 2, 3, 4. And we have another matrix 0, 5, 2, minus 2, 1, 0. Okay, remember we can also have negative numbers, so it must not be always positive numbers. So this is these are two matrices. Remember, the first thing is to find the order of the matrices to see whether it can be added or not. Because here we are to find C plus D. So let us find the order of the matrices to see if we can add them. So what is the order of the matrix C? How many rows and how many columns? 1, 2. That's 2 rows and 3 columns. So it's a 2 by 3 matrix. Now let's have D. 2 rows and 3 columns. So they have the same rows and they have the same columns. So it can be added. Now let us go to the addition process. We are adding corresponding elements elements on the same position in each matrix. So let us take the first one. What it is corresponding number or element in the matrix D? It is 0. So we add 1 plus 0. That will be the first element. Let us take the second, 0. What is its corresponding element in the matrix D? 5. So we add them, 0 plus 5. Let's take the next, minus 1. What is its corresponding element in the matrix D? 2. So we add it, minus 1 plus 2. Okay, that is for the first rule. Let's go to the next. Let's go below, 2. What is its corresponding element in the matrix D? It is minus 2. We add them. We take the next, 3. What is its corresponding element? 1. We add. The next, 4. What is its corresponding element? 0. We add. Now we have exhausted all the elements, so we simplify it. So we have 1 plus 0, which is 1. 0 plus 5, 5. Minus 1 plus 2, 1. 2 plus minus 2, which is basically 2 minus 2. 0, 3 plus 1, 4. And 4 plus 0, which still gives 4. So this is our matrix C plus D. It is very easy, very simple, very straight to the point. Okay, this is it for addition. So we go to subtraction. Okay, let's go to subtraction of matrices. So subtraction is almost the same as addition. They have the same rule. Remember, you can only subtract matrices of the same order. If they do not have the same order, they cannot be subtracted nor added. So subtraction, just think of subtraction as adding a negative. So let's say we have A minus B, we want to subtract, is the same as A plus minus B, where minus B is just an element of B, which is multiplied by minus 1. But if this confuses you, then you can go through your normal minus sign. You can just simply say A minus B. But this is just to link it to addition. It is just adding a negative number. That is, you multiply minus 1 by an element in B. Okay, so that is just it. Now let's have an example. We have the matrix A, 7, 5, 2, 3. We have a matrix B, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, remember the first thing you need to do when adding or subtracting, you need to find the order of the matrix to know whether it can be added or subtracted. So let us find the order of the matrix A. Just by looking at it, you can see that it is a 2 by 2 matrix. It has 2 rows and 2 columns. Now let's take B. What is the order of the matrix B? It is a 2 by 2 matrix, 2 rows and 2 columns. So we can clearly see that the matrices can be can be subtracted. So let's take it step by step. We take the top left. Okay, so let's take the elements at the top left position in each matrix. So we have 7 here and we have 1 here. Remember, they are in the same position. Do not mix the positions. So we can add them. 7, sorry, this is minus 7 minus 1. We take the top right position. We have 5 and we have 2. We subtract 5 minus 2. We take the bottom right, sorry, the bottom left, anyone, but we are going in order. So we subtract 2 minus 3 and we take the bottom right. The bottom right is 3 minus 4. We are done. We have exhausted all the elements. So now we simplify. 7 minus 1, 6. 5 minus 2, 3. 2 minus 3, it's minus 1. And 3 minus 4, still minus 1. So from there we can conclude that A minus B. Now we place them back in their corresponding order. 6, 3, minus 1, minus 1. So that is simply it. Okay, let's take another example. Let's say we have C 4, 2, 0, 3, 1, 5, and we have D 1, 2, 3, 0, 1, 4. Let us subtract C minus D. Remember, we are taking the elements in their corresponding position. So we take the first 4. Which element is its corresponding element in the matrix D? We have 1. We subtract 4 minus 1. We take 0. We can see that it is 2. 0 minus 2. We take 1. 1 minus 3. We go to the next 2. 2 and 0 are corresponding elements, so we can subtract them. 2 minus 0. We take the next 3. 3 minus 1. And we take the last element 5. 5 minus 4. So now we can clearly simplify. 4 minus 1, that is 3. 0 minus 2, minus 2. 1 minus 3, still minus 2. 2 minus 0, 2. 3 minus 1, 2. And 5 minus 4, which is 1. So this is simply it. Okay, so that is it for addition and subtraction of matrices. So let us remember the first thing when adding or subtracting, always check the order of matrices before adding or subtracting. The order of the matrix tells you whether it can be added or subtracted. It tells you. So they must be the same before it can be added or subtracted. The second, never mix the positions. The position should never be mixed. If not, you would have a wrong answer. And subtraction is like adding a negative. So that is what you should know. And that is all for today, guys. Thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you guys in the next video.